Due to her poor family background, a girl named Ji-hyun had to go out to work, but on her first day at work, she made a mistake. As a receptionist at a shopping center, but she treats VIP customers as regular customers. The car was supposed to drive away but backed up. The tycoon's son sat in the car and stretched his arms. Ji-hyun quickly ran over and knelt on one knee on the ground. She asked if he made careful recommendations to her. He says, didn't she see his license plate? Ji-hyun quickly ran over to see the license plate. It turned out that this was a VIP guest of the shopping center. She had pointed the wrong direction just now, so she quickly apologized, but this rich guy still refused to let it go. He thought her not making any hand gestures meant she was looking down on him. The girl looked surprised, then she smiled brightly and used perfect hand gestures to welcome guests. But as soon as the car rolled away, her colleague started causing trouble. The colleague criticized him for being a lunatic, but after saying that this guy admitted that things were not okay, he got angry and got out of the car. He thought Ji-hyun was the girl who was speaking wildly. Her colleague standing next to her rushed to explain, but he pushed this colleague down. Seeing that her colleague was injured, Ji-hyun, who always followed common sense, started arguing with that unreasonable and arrogant rich boy. This made the rich guy even angrier. At this time, the manager knew the news, so he quickly ran over and started criticizing Ji-hyun. The manager wants her to immediately apologize. It turns out that this rich guy is not only a VIP guest here, but also the second son Soo-ho of the group's chairman. If this matter is not handled properly, everyone here and even the manager could lose their jobs. Because Ji-hyun didn't want to involve her colleagues, so she had to apologize. And the extravagant Soo-ho is still not satisfied with her apology. She said, what should I do? Should I kneel down? But she didn't expect the manager to make her kneel down and apologize. Ji-hyun actually knelt down in front of Soo-ho. She begged him for forgiveness. Looking at the girl kneeling on the ground, Soo-ho also realized that this time he was a bit too much, so he consoled himself and left. Actually, he is not a person who likes to cause trouble without cause, but just because the family wanted to intermarry recently, they wanted him to marry Lady Chea, a tycoon family, who he didn't like. He was angry but had no place to vent, so he vented his anger on this girl. But this story doesn't stop there. The girl kneeling down was filmed by passers-by and posted online. Soon that video was on a hot search. The downside of the news is that it causes the group's stock price to plummet. The chairman's father was extremely angry and scolded Soo-ho. The chairman also asked if it was because Soo-ho was dissatisfied with his arrangement of the marriage that Soo-ho protested. Soo-ho did not dare to argue back and just promised his father that he would resolve this matter. Then, he went to find the other girl. As expected of Soo-ho's style, he took out 2 piles of money and gave it to her to ease this matter, because he thought she intentionally knelt down and posted photos online to demand money. Although her family background is poor, Ji-hyun extremely despises people with behavior like his. Before that, she knelt just because she didn't want to involve her colleagues. At this moment, he suddenly had a headache, then began to vomit and finally fell to the ground. She patted his face and saw that he wasn't pretending, so she rushed him to the hospital. When she was about to find Soo-ho's phone to contact his family, she saw 2 bundles of money in his pocket. Just now he gave it to her, but she didn't take it, so of course, she won't steal it now. Remembering Soo-ho's previous bad attitude, she stuffed the money back into his pocket and turned to leave. Seeing the other people in the hospital bed next to staring, Ji-hyun didn't feel secure, so she had to turn back. She thought what to do if someone stole the money. Ji-hyun said that because she was afraid of losing it, she kept it for him. When Soo-ho woke up, the doctor told him a truth that was difficult to accept, that he had terminal cancer. At most, he would only live another half a year. After hearing the news, he was extremely desperate. When he left the hospital, he met Ji-hyun, who came to pay. But right now, he was no longer in the mood to talk to her. But when Ji-hyun took out the money, Soo-ho had already left. When got in the car, Soo-ho finally let go of his stubborn disguise. He felt extremely confused, scared, and insecure, but he couldn't tell anyone. He hated God for being unfair. Why did he get cancer when he was young? Although everyone only has a limited amount of time, for people with cancer who have to count down to see how long they have left to live like Soo-ho, this is an unacceptable shock. He is Soo-ho, the top tycoon in Korea. Every day, he repeats extremely boring things like eating, partying, socializing, and celebrating his birthday with his fiancée. The assistant standing next to him immediately handed him a 100-carat necklace. As for the marriage partner, Chea, that his father arranged for him, he also pretended to say love, and then he put a necklace on her. Everything he did was just to deal with the reporter taking photos next to him. When the reporter left, he tore off the disguise and threw the wine glass hard on the ground. He shouted loudly, wanting to chase Chea away. Ji-hyun and An-chae's birthdays take place on the same day, but their birthdays are completely opposite. Receiving a simple birthday gift from Ji-hyun's boyfriend was extremely happy, so when hearing Min-seok suggest postponing their wedding for a better future, the honest Ji-hyun immediately agreed. That night, Chea received a phone call call from Suho. She was full of excitement and went to Suho's house, but when she rang the doorbell, the person who opened the door was a drunk woman wearing a red nightgown. Chaeya cannot accept this. She entered the house, and the house was a mess, and Suho was drunk and passed out, lying on the bed. Witnessing the scene before her eyes, Chaeya knew clearly what had happened. She looked at the drunken woman before her eyes. As Suho's fiancée, a feeling of humiliation welled up in her heart. Obviously the woman in the red dress also clearly saw Chaeya's confusion, so she quickly ran to explain. She said they didn't do anything because Suho hired her to dress this way to fool Chaeya. But the truth is as true as what she said. Suho knew he had an incurable disease. He was so sad that he found someone to drink alcohol to relieve his sadness. The girl in the red dress even laughed and said, Suho probably didn't want to marry Chaeya. That's why he did that. That sentence touched Chaeya's pain. Chaeya took the bag and hit the girl in the red dress. Because of the family's commercial marriage, Suho has no feelings for Chaeya. Yet now even a humble woman laughs at Chaeya, making her unable to suppress her anger. To receive money, the girl in the red dress had to endure it silently, but Chaeya was still angry. She took a wad of money and threw it into the pool, as if she wanted to insult the girl in the red dress. After speaking, Chaeya left angrily. When she went to the hallway, she saw her bag covered in blood. Chaeya didn't think much and immediately threw her bag into the trash can next to her. Inside the house, the woman in the red dress silently wiped the tears from her face. Right now she doesn't have time to worry about the humiliation just now. She panicked and ran to the swimming pool, reached out to grab the money floating in the pool, and suddenly felt dizzy. She then fell into the pool. The woman in red is named Ji-eun. She was originally an obedient girl. Because of her poor family background, she had to share a bunk bed with her sister Ji-hyun. Just because of who will wake up and turn off the alarm clock, she argued with her sister, but the older sister still loves this younger sister very much. Every morning, the older sister cooks all kinds of dishes for the younger sister, but unfortunately, they have a mother addicted to gambling. Not only did she lose all the money in the house, but she also borrowed a large sum of money. The creditor has repeatedly come to the house to collect the debt. The whole family lives on Ji-hyun's sister's small salary. This time to get back the capital, the mother took the amount of 10 million won that Ji-hyun kept for Suho. The result was a total loss. Seeing that her family's house was about to be taken away by creditors, Ji-eun, who was still in school, had to work part-time at a nightclub to earn money to pay off her mother's debt. Unexpectedly, the first time she went to work, she lost her life. Suho woke up from a nap and saw that the woman he called last night had now died at the swimming pool. After calling 2 sentences, but the woman in the pool still didn't move, Suho suddenly realized something was wrong, so he immediately jumped into the water to pick her up. But it was too late. The girl had stopped breathing a long time ago. At this time, Min-seok is working as a lawyer for Suho's tycoon family. Follow his superior here. As soon as he saw this scene, he realized that the girl was his girlfriend's younger sister. He looked at Suho with disbelief, but because he was drunk last night, Suho was completely unaware of what happened. He couldn't understand how a person who was normal yesterday suddenly died in his house. Upon receiving the news, Ji-hyun ran quickly to the place. When she saw her younger sister's body, she collapsed. She began to cry in despair. She couldn't believe that the younger sister she loved the most would suddenly leave her. Seeing Ji-hyun suffering, her boyfriend Min-seok next to her remembered that he found a pen of his at the murder scene. That was the pen that Chaeya took away before. He already guessed something in his heart, but he didn't say anything. Not long after Ji-hyun's body was taken away by the police, Suho was also taken to the police station for investigation, but very soon, he was released again. Obviously, this is the power of the tycoon. Someone has already arranged everything behind back. As soon as he returned home, his father questioned him. Dad asked if it was really him who did it. Suho replied that it didn't matter whether he did it or not. Didn't Dad already think like that? As the first witnesses at the scene, So Min-seok and his superior were both called into the office by the chairman. The chairman asked them what they thought about this incident. Based on the pen he picked up at the scene, Min-seok guessed that this incident was related to Chaeya, but when faced with the president's question, he said that he found a wound on the victim's head. Perhaps while drunk, Suho hit her on the head. The girl carelessly fell into the pool and drowned. As for Suho, perhaps after sobering up, he forgot his behavior. After listening to Min-seok's speculation, the chairman took out 2 checks and told the 2 of them to quickly resolve this case. They can enter any number number they want. Min Seok then went to find Chaeya. He took out the pen he found at the scene. He asked if she had gone to the scene of the murder, but Chaeya firmly denied. Min Seok then told Chaeya that he just wanted to know what happened that night, but Chaeya said that whether she gave this pen to the president or the police, it was up to him, because this matter had nothing to do with her. After returning, Min Seok remembered the president's words. On one side was his girlfriend, who had been in love with him for many years, and on the other side was a large amount of money right at hand. How will he choose? Have you ever seen a woman as pitiful as this? The younger sister, who was still at school age, unfortunately passed away, and the mother, who was hiding from creditors, didn't even show up at her daughter's funeral. Even more tragic is that she has no money to bury her younger sister. As for Min Seok's boyfriend, who had been with her for many years and witnessed everything, he decided to leave. Then he went to look for Chaeya again. He told Chaeya that he went to look at the surveillance cameras right after discovering the case. He saw that Chaeya went into Suho's room that night. He then took out a USB and said that the camera's original memory had been erased. This is the only video that still exists. Faced with that evidence, Chaeya could not help but admit that she had been to the scene of the crime that night. Furthermore, she also hit Ji-eun on the head. At this time, Min Seok was completely clear that Ji-eun was indirectly killed by Chaeya. Chaeya helplessly asked Min Seok what to do. Min Seok tells her that he will handle everything. Moreover, he also gave that only video to her. Not long after, he went looking for Ji-hyun, but he told Ji-hyun that her younger sister was at the hotel alone. No one was with Ji-hyun. In the police station, when the police asked Suho if there was anyone else there that night, Suho remembered that he had called Chaeya. He called her to his house to tell her he wouldn't marry her, but he lied to the police and said he didn't remember anything. He then went to find Chaeya and asked her if she would come to his house that night after receiving the phone call. Chaeya pretends to calmly tell Suho that she didn't go there, and she lied that she was with another man at that time. Hearing Chaeya's answer, Suho had nothing to say. After all, he had always had an unfriendly attitude towards her before. The secretary then gave him Ji-eun's will documents that they had quietly investigated. Suho scolded the secretary for doing work arbitrarily. Only after the secretary left did he open that piece of paper, but he saw a woman he was very familiar with. He didn't expect Ji-eun to be that woman's younger sister. The next day, Ji-hyun received a notice from the police station saying that her sister left this world on her own after getting drunk. Ji-hyun did not believe the investigation results at all. Ji-hyun angrily stormed into the police station. She couldn't believe her younger sister would do such a foolish thing. She wants the police to continue investigating. At this time, the police took Ji-hyun's younger sister's phone and told her that Ji-hyun had left a will before died. It turned out that a message had been written but not yet sent. How could this be considered a will? She begged the police to investigate again, but the police only advised her to stay calm. At this time, the police chief passed by. She sadly begged him not to stop investigating her younger sister's case. That scene all caught Suho's eyes. Looking at Ji-hyun sitting on the ground crying in pain, he suddenly remembered that when he was a child, when his mother passed away, he was just as desperate. He wanted to know if he actually killed Ji-hyun or not. Ji-hyun had no other choice but to find Min Seok. She asked him to help her investigate the cause of her younger sister's death. Ji-hyun did not believe that Ji-eun would end her life like that, but Min Seok told her that Ji-eun actually did it. Furthermore, he also gave her a business card. He said that if she looking for this person, she would know the truth. Ji-hyun found the blonde guy named Kang In-bel. According to the address on the business card, this person told her that her younger sister had been working as a prostitute at his place for several years. Every time her family needs money, she comes here. Moreover, he also said that Ji-eun often said that because of family pressure, she wanted to live more comfortably. Ji-hyun sadly returned to her younger sister's funeral. The funeral home staff told her that a man had come here to pay for the funeral. Ji-hyun quickly chased after. She thought it was Min Seok's boyfriend, but she couldn't see him anywhere. But right now, Suho is hiding in a corner, looking at that poor girl. The person who paid for her younger sister's burial was him. Ji-hyun took out the phone to call Min Seok again, but Min Seok intentionally did not pick up. Ji-hyun did not know that at this moment he was giving the check with the written amount to the president. Seeing the number on the plaque, the president was very surprised because Min Seok wrote it as 10 billion won. On the other side, although under his father's arrangement, Ji-eun's death was considered to be her own departure from this world, but Suho still could not know whether he really killed someone or not. He still silently observed every move of Ji-hyun. Every time he sees Ji-hyun crying in pain, the feeling of guilt in his heart will become stronger and stronger. Suho knew he didn't have much time left. Perhaps because of the honesty hidden deep within him, he felt he had to investigate this matter clearly, so he went looking for professionals. He said he wanted to restore the entire deleted memory of the surveillance camera. The footage was restored but nothing was discovered, but he didn't know that this was actually Min Seok's arrangement. Min Seok even pretended to say he would introduce an expert to Soo-ho to help restore that camera footage. This expert has been bribed for a long time, including the blonde guy Kang In-bao that Ji-hyun went looking for. Last time was also arranged by Min Seok. Even the fake will on Ji-hyun's cell phone that the police held was created by Min Seok. At this time, the only video he copied was thrown into the sea by Chaeya. Ji-hyun did not believe that Ji-hyun would leave this world on her own. After a moment of hesitation, she decided to do an autopsy, but as soon as she hung up the police phone, Min Seok received the news, but he was not afraid at all. The younger sister's body was taken away by the police. Ji-hyun sat miserable in the rain. She did not know that the person behind manipulating everything was her boyfriend, Min Seok, of 6 years. Ji-hyun witnessed with her own eyes the forensic autopsy of her younger sister's body. She suppressed her fear and guilt in her heart to wait for the results. Finally, there were autopsy results, but the forensic conclusions made Ji-hyun unable to accept. Autopsy results showed that Ji-hyun's head was damaged and her died from being drunk and drowning in the water. Obviously, this is the result that Min Seok controlled. Although Ji-hyun couldn't believe the result, she had to reluctantly accept the truth. After cremating her younger sister's body, Ji-hyun absent-mindedly walked home alone, but she saw a middle-aged man cooking noodles in the house. The man told Ji-hyun her mother used this house to pay off debt. Seeing the documents in the man's hand, Ji-hyun couldn't believe that her mother not only owed a huge amount of money but was now using this house to pay off the debt. When she was packing her luggage and preparing to leave, she suddenly saw a gift that her younger sister had planned to give her. It was a birthday gift for Ji-hyun. The feelings inside are extremely complicated, but when Ji-hyun was about to leave, the man blocked the door, even showed an evil expression. As a result, after being kicked painfully by Ji-hyun, this man continued to chase Ji-hyun. Then Soo-ho suddenly appeared, blocking this man's way. Ji-hyun had nowhere to go, so she had to sit on the side of the road. She looked at the birthday gift her younger sister gave her. The good times in the past still seemed like they were yesterday. She finally smiled, a smile hadn't seen in a long time, but after a moment of smiling, tears welled up in her eyes. Soo-ho didn't feel secure, so he sat in the car silently watching her. Ji-hyun walked alone in the rain, letting the rain water wet her face. The world is so vast, but she doesn't know where she should go. The death of the younger sister, the escape of the mother. At this moment she felt like she no longer had any joy in this world. Soo-ho noticed something unusual, so he quickly got out of the car. He crossed the busy traffic and hugged Ji-hyun, then angrily said that she was tired of living. Ji-hyun said that she was tired of this life. People who want to die can't die. People who want to come back to life don't have much time left. The rain became heavier and heavier, as if the sky was crying for these two young people with difficult fates. Soo-ho's eyes became soft. He felt that he only had a short time left to live, so he had to carefully watch over this girl in front of him. Ji-hyun was extremely puzzled by his sudden concern. Of course, Soo-ho couldn't tell Ji-hyun his true thoughts, so he found an excuse that he wanted her to pay him 10 million won, so he did that. Ji-hyun promised to pay him back, so she told him not to worry too much. But looking at Ji-hyun's current appearance, Soo-ho cannot feel secure. Then, Ji-hyun was pulled into the car by Soo-ho. Actually, he was worried that Ji-hyun in this state would do something stupid. At this time, Soo-ho did not know that a big trouble aimed at him was being prepared. This man is the eldest son Soo-chol of the Cheon family of tycoons, and is also the brother who won inheritance rights with Soo-ho. When he learned that Soo-ho likely killed Ji-eun, he summoned many media to prepare to reveal this news. Soo-chol is determined to push his half-brother into the mud. At this moment, Min Seok stopped him, hoping he would think again about what to say in front of the reporters. Because Min Seok knows the truth of the incident, if this story is revealed to the media, it will be disadvantageous for him. After hearing that Chaeya was also coming here, she said the story that Soo-chol had borrowed someone else's identity to secretly buy shares in the company to threaten him. But Soo-chol is indifferent to her threat. Then he even provoked Chaeya. After hearing this news, Soo-ho told Ji-hyun to sit in the car, and he appeared at the press conference scene. The two brothers met. The atmosphere suddenly became tense. Soo-ho asked what his older brother wanted to do. Soo-chol didn't bother to hide it, but said frankly he wanted Soo-ho to transfer 50% of Soo-ho's nominal shares to him. If Soo-ho agrees, he will hide Soo-ho's secret forever. Everyone looked nervously at Soo-ho. Soo-ho laughed and told Soo-chol, "You just reveal everything. For a person who is about to die, what else is there to fear?" After that, he stood on stage and intended to tell the truth to reporters, but at this moment Ji-hyun walked into the hall. Soo-ho, who was confident and fearless, immediately became timid. Min Seok, who was in the hall, also noticed Ji-hyun. Soo-ho looked at Ji-hyun looking at him. He remembered Ji-hyun's painful cry, along with that helpless and desperate expression. The words words that reached his mouth were immediately swallowed back. In the end, he still didn't have the courage to tell the truth. His actions angered his older brother. Su-chul, regardless of the many reporters at the scene, rushed forward and pulled Su-ho off the stage and pushed him to the ground. The reporters at the scene raised their cameras. Everyone wanted to take pictures of the two rich brothers fighting. Ji-hyun and Cha-ya were pushed to the ground by the crowd, but Min-seok, Ji-hyun's boyfriend, chose to stay by Cha-ya's side to protect her. At the same time, Su-ho walked out the hall under intense questioning by reporters. He got in the car and panicked and left. Not long after, the president learned about all of his eldest son's actions and immediately became angry. He raised the glass of wine in his hand and threw it hard at Su-chul, but the glass of wine suddenly hit Min-seok on the head. Blood kept flowing, but Min-seok could only suffer in silence. Su-ho went to find Ji-hyun. He carefully helped her bandage her scratches, then he took her to his restaurant. He knew Ji-hyun had fasted all day but didn't know her taste, so he ordered her a lot of food. Seeing that Ji-hyun was not interested in food, Su-ho called the chef over and said to throw it all away. Ji-hyun was afraid of wasting food, so she started eating. This is the power of the rich child. He clearly wanted Ji-hyun to eat more, but acted like he was being stubborn. Then while Ji-hyun was sleeping, Su-ho thoughtfully covered her with a blanket, but the next day he continued to act like a rich child and arrogant. He forced Ji-hyun to sign a paper, promising to pay 10 million won. Su-ho's purpose in doing so is to be able to know all of Ji-hyun's actions. Then, he went to Ji-hyun's house again. He helped her mother pay off all the debt and redeemed their house. And he also heard news of Ji-hyun's mother through the middle-aged man's words. Su-ho then went to find Min-seok and gave him the reputation of being a good person, so that Ji-hyun went to see her boyfriend, who never showed up when she was having difficulties. At this moment, Min-seok's eyes were no longer affectionate. The person he once loved dearly has now turned into a stranger. When they met again, he no longer said sweet words. He drove Ji-hyun to the place where her mother was being held, then told her that her mother was detained here for fraud. Now the debt has been paid off, the house has been redeemed, she can go see her mother later. When Ji-hyun asked him where he got so much money to pay off her mother's debt, he nonchalantly said to break up. In this world, the hardest words to say between two people who love each other are the sentence to break up. 6 years of love, and yet it was easy to say to break up. Ji-hyun couldn't accept it and asked Min-seok when his feelings started to change. But Min-seok didn't want to explain at all and got in the car and left. Her younger sister passed away, her boyfriend accidentally said goodbye, and finally Ji-hyun's tears fell endlessly. This scene was seen by Su-ho sitting in the car, far away. This mother had just walked out of prison when she heard her eldest daughter tell her the bad news that her second daughter had passed away. Looking at Ji-hyun's urn, the mother couldn't help but shed tears of regret. She could not believe that she had only been locked in prison for a few days, and her youngest daughter had left her forever. She blamed Ji-hyun for holding such a simple funeral. Ji-hyun collapsed and had to tell her mother. Actually, when was alive, Ji-eun, in order to help mother pay off her debt, went to work at an illegal job placement center, which is why she lost her life. The mother couldn't believe it. She picked up her bag and quickly turned around and left. Then she went to find the middle-aged man who had lent her money before. It turned out that Tae-sung had told the mother before that if she needed money, she would take Ji-eun to work there. At that time, the mother only thought he was joking, but did not expect that her daughter would actually be taken there to earn money to pay off her debt. But Tae-sung said, "These things aren't important already. The most important thing right now is to clearly investigate the cause of Ji-eun's death. It seems that the loss of her daughter's life is not simple at all." Obviously, Tae-sung knows something. To quickly investigate the cause of her daughter's death, the mother had to flatter Tae-sung, but he is an extremely cunning man. He refused to mention a word about Ji-eun's story, but the mother felt that perhaps he was holding some evidence. Elsewhere, Ji-hyun was working when she received a notice from the director telling her to go receive VIP guests. When Ji-hyun carried the things to help the rich girl go to her boyfriend's side, she discovered that the other man was Min-seok. Her boyfriend just broke up with her not long ago. Yesterday, he broke up with his girlfriend of 6 years, and the next day, he was holding hands with a rich girl. Ji-hyun finally knew the reason Min-seok asked to break up. Cha-ya chooses an expensive vest for Min-seok. Ji-hyun finally spoke up. She said this gentleman's figure is a bit skinny. Maybe a slim shirt form would suit him better. Cha-ya turned her head to look at Ji-hyun, who had just spoken. She suddenly felt like this staff seemed to have seen somewhere before, but Cha-ya couldn't remember where she had seen this girl before. When Cha-ya went to the bathroom, Min-seok was about to explain to Ji-hyun when she interrupted. She said she wouldn't interfere in his privacy anymore. Chae-ah returned from the bathroom to see her fiancé Soo-ho also at the store. She quickly pulled Min-seok to leave, but Ji-hyun followed behind because she was carrying too many things and accidentally fell down. Soo-ho was passing by and saw this scene. After saying a few rude words, Soo-ho used the excuse of needing staff and pulled Ji-hyun away, leaving Chae-ah with a suspicious look on her face. At this moment, Chae-ah remembered that the woman just now was the family member of the girl she killed who appeared at the press conference that day. Min-seok returned to the company. While working, he received a bouquet of fresh flowers and a gift box. When he opened the box, there was a USB inside. The contents of the USB made even a calm person like Min tremble in fear. That's the video from the day Ji-hyun's incident happened. At that moment he received a phone call. The mysterious person said, "I knew about Min-seok covering up the case and even threatened Min-seok to do as he said." Min-seok followed the instructions in the call to the door and saw a man signaling him to get in the car. This man is Tae-sung. It turned out that he had previously used Min-seok's name to become an employee who personally installed surveillance cameras at the swimming pool and then got the video of Chae-ah beating Ji-hyun. He knows that the one who hides the truth and benefits from this is Min-seok, so he came to find Min-seok. He said that if that video was leaked, many people would be in trouble. Perhaps Min-seok will be the one in the biggest trouble. Even Ji-hyun, Min-seok also cheated her. He was disgusted by Min-seok's actions. Tae-sung said, "Soo-ho now thinks he killed Ji-hyun. If you don't want Soo-ho and the chairman to know that you're hiding this matter, then you have to go ask Chae-ah for 1 billion and generously say that after this case is successful, I will give you 30%. Min-seok had no other choice but to prepare money. On Soo-ho's side, he went to see the doctor again to ask about his illness. The doctor told him there was currently no way to continue prolonging his life. Hearing doctor's words, Soo-ho was no longer angry like before. He smiled in pain and left the hospital. He decided not to think anymore. In the short time left, he will live his life to the fullest for himself. At this time, Ji-hyun came to find him. Because both his identity and position made others dare not despise him, she begged him to help her investigate the truth of her younger sister's death. At this moment, Soo-ho was not sure if he truly wanted to protect this girl in front of him or if he was just feeling sorry for her. In the end, he decided not to care about Ji-hyun anymore and left this place. He wanted to find a quiet place to live the rest of his days. Ji-hyun's mother came to find Tae-sung again. She wanted to hear him tell a few words about Ji-hyun's story, but after only 3 beers, Tae-sung was so drunk that he passed out. Ji-hyun was worried about her mother, so she came to see her mother. At that moment, there was a banging sound on the door. Ji-hyun and her mother quickly hid behind the desk. A few thugs came in. The leader of the group was Kang In-bel from the illegal job placement place. They asked Tae-sung where the evidence was. It was the video of Chae-ah at the pool that day. Ji-hyun and her mother hid behind the table and heard their conversation clearly. On Min-seok's side, troublesome people come to him one after another. The employee who installed the camera illegally found Min-seok. This person knew that Min-seok received 10 billion thanks to the swimming pool case, but he had nothing. This person asked Min-seok to give him 1 billion. Otherwise, Min-seok's true face will be revealed. Min-seok has no choice but to borrow money from Chae-ah. Chae-ah didn't ask why and immediately agreed. After going through what happened that night, she gradually became attached to Min-seok. At the same time, she also appreciated him for helping her hide it. In the middle of a busy airport, Soo-ho's figure looked extremely lonely. He looked around, knowing that this might be the last time he visited this place. At this moment, Ji-hyun was extremely worried and ran to stop Soo-ho, who was about to board the plane. She begged him to help her, saying that her younger sister had been recorded by surveillance cameras at the swimming pool that day. Hearing Ji-hyun mention the surveillance camera, Soo-ho was a bit hesitant because up until now, he still wasn't sure whether he had harmed Ji-hyun or not. But through Ji-hyun, Soo-ho learned that the surveillance camera had recorded the scene at the swimming pool. He decided not to go anymore. At first he thought he had harmed Ji-hyun. Now, he just wanted to clarify what happened that night. To clearly understand the incident, Soo-ho intended to spend 100 million to buy that video. Because he was greedy, he quoted a price of 1 billion, but then he contacted Min-seok to sell the video the second time. He arranged for both of them to arrive at the location he sent at 11 o'clock tonight. While Tae-sung was waiting to hug both Soo-ho and Min-seok, Ji-hyun's mother quietly followed. After following for a while, she finally found where Tae-sung was hiding. As soon as she encountered him, she threw prepared gasoline on him and at the same time took out a lighter, wanting to die with him. Tae-sung started to get scared immediately, took out the USB and started entice Ji-hoon's mother. Tae-sung said that he had a plan. Today he planned to meet the person who covered up Ji-yeon's case. Tae-sung also said that he did all of this for Ji-yeon, but Ji-hyun's mother did not know that Tae-sung's purpose for this trip was for money. On the other hand, Min-seok cunningly arranged a date to meet with Kang In-bel. He promised Kang In-bel that if you could get the video from Taesung's hands, I would give you 1 billion. Kang In-bel also said that he would keep it absolutely secret. That evening, Taesung took Jihyun's mother with him to the transaction location. Seeing that the trader was Jihyun's ex-boyfriend, Jihyun's mother was extremely surprised. Min Seok saw Jihyun's mother sitting in the car and quickly waved for the truck to stop, but it was too late. Kang In-bel drove the truck towards Taesung in Jihyun's mother's car. The car could not withstand the pressure and exploded. Right now Kang In-bel is upset. He did not expect the car to explode. He was extremely disappointed because he hadn't gotten the surveillance video yet, which was something worth $1 billion. And Min Seok behind him was secretly happy. As long as this person disappeared, this matter would be over. Min Seok picked up a brick, and when Kang In-bel wasn't paying attention, he hit the brick hard on this person's head. In just a short time, Jihyun lost her only 2 relatives. The younger sister worked at a nightclub to help her mother pay off debts, then unfortunately passed away. The mother, who had just been released from prison, wanted to investigate her daughter's affairs, so she also encountered misfortune. The constant loss made Jihyun's heart go numb. In the end, she had no way to accept the truth and stood on the rooftop. Luckily, Suho was always quietly protecting her side and ran to her in time. It turned out that because her younger sister and mother passed away in succession, Jihyun locked herself in the house for 3 days. Suho called her, but she didn't answer. He knocked on the door, but no one answered, so he had to climb up to the window to try to break the glass and call Jihyun's name. But still, no one in the room responded. After he smashed it many times, the glass door finally broke. Suho immediately went into the house, but soon he was startled to discover that the room was unusually quiet. A terrifying image suddenly appeared in his mind. When he was young in a room like this, he witnessed his mother do something foolish. He slowly pushed the door open. At that moment, Jihyun suddenly walked out of the bathroom. Suho breathed a sigh of relief. Suho loudly questioned why Jihyun didn't speak up just now. Jihyun explained that she was taking a shower. She told Suho to get out immediately. Jihyun finally couldn't take it anymore and sat down on the floor and cried. Actually, Suho's hunch was not wrong. Just now Jihyun really intended to do something stupid in the bathroom. Fortunately, Suho ran there in time. She heard Suho's knocking on the door, so she stopped, but this wasn't over yet. Jihyun went to the swimming pool, where her sister had an accident, and drank a sip of strong alcohol. The scene of playing with her younger sister seems like it happened yesterday. She called Suho. She apologized to him and said she wouldn't be able to pay him 10 million won. Jihyun then thanked him for always helping her. Suho realized something unusual in her words. He comforted her while trying to run as fast as he could. At that moment, a car traveling at high speed hit him, causing him to fall onto the road. He still have unfinished thing. He can't die now. He didn't pay attention to the wound on his body. At this moment, the only thought in his heart was to protect Jihyun. Suho promptly ran over, surprising Jihyun, but now she was no longer in the mood to think deeply. Seeing that Jihyun had made up her mind, Suho walked to Jihyun's side and climbed up to the rooftop. Suho took off his mask and told Jihyun about his unforgettable lifelong pain from when he was a child. He remembered when he was little, when his mother just passed away, his father always said it was his fault. Suho couldn't help but cry. Jihyun also felt the intense pain hidden deep in Suho's heart. When she heard Suho say he would jump down with her, Jihyun pulled him back. Then both of them fell down the stairs. Although the stairs on the rooftop are not high, this still gives Jihyun a completely different perception of life. She moved out of that house filled with pain and rented an apartment with her best friend. Unexpectedly, on the first day of moving, she saw Suho also moving into the apartment next door. Jihyun was extremely surprised. She wondered why he kept following her. In the morning, he called the chef to prepare a cart full of breakfast to take to Jihyun's house. So Jihyun also invited Suho to eat a meal she cooked to express her thanks. From then on, the two people's feelings gradually deepened. The two people were only separated by a wall and suddenly discovered that they could clearly hear the other person's voice. Jihyun wondered if Suho intentionally rented this house without soundproofing. Suho was confused and could only use an excuse to let the matter go. Suho didn't know anything about Jihyun's change in mentality. Before she thought that she was alone in this world, but now she realizes that Suho is always by her side. Even though he often angrily scolded her, he didn't realize the warmth he brought to her. They then began to publicly investigate. Jihyun searched for witnesses present at the scene around the accident site, and Suho went to Kang In-bel's workplace. From the story of the girl working at the nightclub, Suho learned that Kang In-bel was the one who introduced Jiyeon to his room that day. Moreover, after Ji-yeon had an accident, this man also received a large amount of money and even exchanged it for a new car. The police announced that Kang In-bel was the one who caused the accident that caused Ji-hyun's mother to die. Soo-ho feels that this is not just a coincidence. Why did Kang In-bel kill Ji-hyun's mother? Soo-ho then investigated Kang In-bel's call history and discovered that he had called Min-seok many times. As for Min-seok, he went to find Cha-ya and asked her for 1 billion won. Furthermore, he didn't even explain the reason. Unexpectedly, Cha-ya agreed. Min-seok didn't say much but just took Cha-ya to the house of the guard, who revealed the original surveillance video. He told the guard that because the guard kept that video so 3 people died, he threw the suitcase on the floor and told the guard to take it and leave far away. Furthermore, Min-seok also threatened the security guard that if any problems occurred in the future, he and his family would be retaliated against. Cha-ya, standing in front of the door, was extremely frightened. She did not expect that Min-seok, who usually looked polite, could say such things. For the first time she felt the fear of the man in front of her, but the next day, Cha-ya had restored her normal appearance. She not only introduced a TV station director for Min-seok to get to know, but also gave him a gift. After returning home, Min-seok opened it and immediately panicked because inside is a tie that he wore when he murdered Kang In-bel. Apparently this tie had also fallen off the cliff with Kang In-bel at that time, but now it appeared before his eyes. Min-seok thought he had hidden it very well, so right now he was extremely panicked. A few days ago, Kang In-bel drove car and hit the car that Ji-hyun's mother was sitting in, ultimately causing Ji-hyun's mother to die. After that incident, Min-seok attacked him with a brick, but clearly the brick's attack power was not enough. The two chased each other up the mountain, resulting in the already injured and bleeding Kang In-bel being pushed down the cliff by Min-seok. A strong survival instinct made him grab Min-seok's tie tightly, but Min-seok had no intention to ignore Kang In-bel because he was the one who bribed Kang In-bel to cause the traffic accident before. Furthermore, he knew clearly that he was hiding the truth of Ji-yeon's death in the swimming pool, so he couldn't let Kang In-bel survive. Even though Kang In-bel begged him, he still slowly took off his tie, letting Kang In-bel just fall. But Min-seok doesn't understand why that tie fell into Cha-ya's hands. It turned out that Kang In-bel was not dead, but because he was still raising his family, he did not dare to take revenge, so he had to go to Cha-ya and reveal to her Min-seok's true face. After knowing the truth, Cha-ya is still grateful to Min-seok for hiding the swimming pool incident for her. She had no intention of revealing Min-seok's behavior, she just asked him to discuss everything with her first. To handle this matter smoothly, Cha-ya went to Kang In-bel's hideout and gave him 1 billion won in cash and asked him to leave and never appear again. But this scene was seen by Ji-hyun. They're obviously doing some mysterious deal. So to find out the truth, Ji-hyun went to work at a restaurant which had many relationships of Soo-ho. Cha-ya expressed dissatisfaction with Ji-hyun's presence. After all, she was still Soo-ho's fiancée in name, but Cha-ya still politely asked if we had met before. Ji-hyun admitted that she had carried things to help Cha-ya before. Then, while no one was paying attention, Ji-hyun silently investigated Cha-ya's company's documents. She also put a recording pen in the pen holder. When she was about to leave, she accidentally heard the conversation of 2 brothers, Soo-ho and Soo-chul. At this moment, Ji-hyun knew that Soo-ho, always so radiant, had suffered the pain of losing a loved one since childhood. As for Min-seok, he remembered what happened in the past 2 days. If he doesn't quickly deal with Kang In-bel, he doesn't dare to imagine what will happen in the future. So he went to Kang In-bel's former office and rummaged around, finally finding a secret book on the ceiling. When he was about to leave, Kang In-bel attacked him from behind. Kang In-bel squeezed Min-seok's neck. He was extremely resentful of Min-seok, who turned him into a homeless dog and had to run away everywhere. Min-seok had just found the notebook, so he told Kang In-bel that I would help you escape. Only then did Kang In-bel let go. Min-seok then went to Soo-chul and handed over the secret notebook to him. Seeing his name on the notebook, Soo-chul, who was arrogant, immediately became afraid. It turned out that it was a notebook containing a list of drug buyers at Kang In-bel's place. Once this list is made public, Soo-chul will not be able to become the heir of the Cheon tycoon family. Furthermore, he will also be imprisoned if this notebook is made public. Min-seok tells him to make Kang In-bel innocent, so his dirty secret will be covered. On the other hand, from reporter Ji-hyun, known that the police have stopped investigating Kang In-bel, Soo-ho also learned this news through his lawyer's family. Even if the crime of murder is committed, as long as the prosecutor does not prosecute, the crime will not be established. But Ji-hyun and Soo-ho did not know that it was all arranged by Min-seok. To fulfill his promise to investigate the truth with Ji-hyun, Soo-ho went to to the police station and openly admitted to the media that at his previous party there were people using drugs. Furthermore, he sincerely invited the media to continue monitoring the progress of the investigation. This action of his has caused the company to get into trouble. The knife was also pointed straight at Kang In-bel, who murdered Ji-hyun's mother. To lure Kang In-bel, Ji-hyun stole Chae-ah's phone. Through the call history, Ji-hyun sent a message to Kang In-bel to meet him at the old place at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. In the police station, because of media pressure, the police promised to take action tomorrow. The next day, there were many policemen guarding the place where Kang In-bel often appeared. Just as the police were complaining that Ji-hyun following them would only cause trouble, Kang In-bel slowly walked over. At the same time, he received a call from Min-seok telling him to leave immediately. The policemen ambushing upstairs quickly chased after them, finally arresting Kang In-bel and taking him to the police. After knowing this, President John was extremely angry. Previously, he spent 10 billion won for Min-seok to hide this case, but now it happened that Kang In-bel also knew about the swimming pool incident. This makes him unable to help but doubt Min-seok's working ability. After hearing this news, Soo-chul started causing trouble. He received a piece of data from within the police station and discovered that the day Ji-hyun's mother had an accident, Soo-ho and Ji-hyun's phone signals also appeared nearby. He asked Min-seok to use this to completely defeat Soo-ho. Based on this clue, Min-seok created an extremely sophisticated plan. He will go to prison to bribe Kang In-bel and let Kang In-bel reveal things that are detrimental to Soo-ho. Not long after, Min-seok took the identity of a lawyer to the police station. According to the established plan, Min-seok told Kang In-bel to declare that he was ordered by Soo-ho, so he created a traffic accident to kill people. Furthermore, Min-seok also promised that after Kang In-bel finished testifying, he would give Kang In-bel a large sum of money. When Kang In-bel is brought to court, Min-seok will still think of a way to let him escape, but if he does not agree, Kang In-bel will spend the rest of life in prison. Kang In-bel has no other choice. Min-seok then went to find the police officer who was bribed by him, and the secret plot of these two people was successfully agreed upon. The next plan will be an even bigger conspiracy. The very next day, Min-seok gave a dagger to Kang In-bel and told him that he should leave this world by himself now. Min-seok then took a knife and cut his own palm. The policeman next to him raised the gun in his hand. Kang In-bel was bewildered. Yesterday in prison, Min-seok promised that as long as he confessed that Soo-ho was the one who ordered him to kill Ji-hyun's mother, Min-seok would find a way to let him escape on the way to court. Min-seok also told Kang In-bel that the police had been bribed by him, so in the police station Kang In-bel confessed that he was ordered by Soo-ho. Then, under the arrangement of the police, Kang In-bel was bribed by Min-seok to be put in a car and taken to court. On the other side, through cell phone, Soo-ho discovered unusual traces of Min-seok. It turns out that when investigating Kang In-bel's call history, Soo-ho discovered that Min-seok was involved, felt Ji-hyun's mother's death definitely be related to Min-seok. So a few days before meeting Min-seok, Soo-ho secretly installed a tracking device on Min-seok's car. Soo-ho quickly set out to the location that had been located and also informed the reporter who always wanted to expose the truth of the swimming pool case. The police car stopped in a deserted place and Kang In-bel was taken to a deserted place. Min-seok had been waiting there for a long time. That's why the previous scene appeared. Min-seok told Kang In-bel that he couldn't hide anymore. Everywhere was hell. At this moment, Kang In-bel knew that Min-seok did not want to let him escape. When Kang In-bel knew he was trapped, he wanted to run away, but Min-seok took the gun from the police without hesitation and shot Kang In-bel. Just as was about to fire the second shot, Soo-ho shouted to stop Min-seok. The reporter also ran after, facing reporters' cameras even though was caught red-handed at the senses. Min-seok still said that suspect Kang In-bel wanted to run away, so they were just arresting him. Seeing Min-seok speak so brazenly, Kang In-bel took the opportunity to shout that it was Min-seok who asked him to slander Soo-ho and order him to kill Ji-hyun's mother. Then Min-seok would let him escape, but he did not expect Min-seok to betray him and want to kill him to hide the truth. Meanwhile, Min-seok calmly said that to defraud him of money, Kang In-bel created fake evidence. He then said that if today's matter was exposed, it would be difficult for the public to distinguish between good and bad, and as a result, only Soo-ho and the entire Chon family would be in danger. Before leaving, Min-seok told Soo-ho that he should think carefully about whether to make this public. However, the TV station still posted the reporter's interview with Ji-hyun, along with a video recording today's scene. The truth will be revealed in the evening. Min-seok looked at the TV stunned. He immediately called the director of of the television station. It turns out that yesterday, the reporter investigating this incident suddenly received news that she was fired. When she arrived at the director's office, she saw Min-seok just coming out of the office. Min-seok also told her that she shouldn't confront him. This scene was seen by Suho. After Min-seok left, Suho also entered the director's office. Seeing the news on TV, Ji-hyun was extremely happy. The moment she had been waiting for was finally coming. As for Suho, his mood was very worried because the content in the news included a reporter interviewing him. He said it was possible that he was the main cause of Ji-hyun's younger sister's death. Remembering Ji-hyun's reaction back then and the trust Ji-hyun had in him, he didn't know how he should face Ji-hyun after the truth was revealed. After a period of intense mental struggle, Suho decided to be frank with Ji-hyun. But this world is so magical. When Suho was wondering how to talk to Ji-hyun, Min-seok and Cha-ya were also discussing this. Min-seok tells Cha-ya that now Kang In-bel has been arrested, which means everything they wanted to hide will probably be exposed to the public. Min-seok also emotionally said that he wanted to protect her forever, but now he was powerless. Cha-ya said that from now on, just leave everything to her. On the other side, Suho was preparing to tell Ji-hyun the truth, that perhaps he was the cause of her younger sister's death when he received unacceptable news. The detention camp is on fire. This girl's mother died in a traffic accident, knowing clearly that her mother's death was caused by someone else, but because the detention center caught fire, the perpetrator was burned in a sea of flames in a thrilling way. The police ended this case in a simple way, and at the same time the righteous program that was supposed to speak up for vulnerable people was also stopped from broadcasting. Min-seok received a salary of up to 10 billion won from the Cheon Group to hide the truth. Today an uninvited guest came to Ji-hyun's house, and because of her appearance, Ji-hyun aroused hope of exposing the truth about her younger sister's death. This girl is a close friend of Ji-hyun's younger sister. This girl came to give a bloody handbag to Ji-hyun. On the night that Ji-eun passed away, Cha-ya took this bag and repeatedly hit Ji-eun's head. From Ji-eun's best friend's story, Ji-hyun learned that Min-seok had previously given Ji-eun's best friend a sum of money to keep the truth a secret. Furthermore, Min-seok also threatened this girl not to reveal the truth. Ji-hyun quickly took the bag for testing, and sure enough, the blood on the bag was her younger sister's blood. Ji-hyun intended to announce this news to the reporter, who always helped her investigate the case, but then she was stunned to realize that the reporter had always kept secret contact with Min-seok. Seeing Ji-hyun suddenly appear, both Min-seok and the reporter were extremely confused. But right after that, Cha-ya walked out and made Ji-hyun understand everything. It turns out that after the detention camp caught fire, the reporter who always helped her was lured by Cha-ya and even became a department director in Cha-ya's company. So Ji-hyun had no choice but to find Suho, the only person she could trust right now, and tell him the truth. After all, Cha-ya is still his fiancé, so Ji-hyun did not want to hide it from him but directly denounced Cha-ya. After listening to Ji-hyun, Suho was extremely surprised. At this point, he realized that Cha-ya had come to his house that night, but what makes him feel even more pressured is that Ji-hyun now no longer trusts the police and the media, but puts her trust in him. Then he went to find Cha-ya. Seeing the evidence before her eyes, Cha-ya had to admit the truth that she had gone to Suho's house that night. Moreover, she also beat Ji-hyun's younger sister to the point of injury, but Cha-ya also said that as a fiancé, she couldn't keep calm when she saw a strange woman wearing scanty clothes in her fiancé's house. At that time, Cha-ya did not expect that she only beat that girl once, but indirectly killed that girl in the red dress. She always hid this truth because Suho was also present in the house at that time. Could it be that she confessed and then gave his name? If so, she would immediately confess. Suho said it was fine, so the two of them went to the police station. Coincidentally, the person who welcomed them was the police officer who was bribed by Min-seok to hide the truth. The police said that the autopsy results were already available. Although there was a wound on the head, the main cause of death was suffocation underwater. If you only declare verbally like that, it will be impossible to conduct the reinvestigation. So just because there was no evidence, the case was not established. Suho is helpless and doesn't know what to do. Now he has no other way to help Ji-hyun, because in order to get more clues to help Ji-hyun, he decided to marry Cha-ya ahead of time. In front of many reporters' cameras, he knelt down on one knee and gave a proposal ring to the girl he didn't love. Cha-ya also knew that Suho was just pretending, but she still accepted his proposal. That night, Suho got drunk and went to Ji-hyun's door. He confessed all the pain that he had previously hidden in his heart. Halfway through speaking, Suho's illness suddenly recurred. He fell to the ground suffering from excruciating pain. Looking at Suho, who had a severe headache, Ji-hyun quickly ran through the rain to buy medicine. At this moment, a man wearing a hat sneaked into Ji-hyun's house. When Ji-hyun returned, she saw Suho, who had restored his normal appearance and was waiting for her. Suho threw the medicine bag on the ground and said he didn't need this. this. His actions made Ji-hyun very angry. She questioned Suho that if he didn't need it, why did he come to find her and not Chaeya? Then she turned around and was about to leave when Suho said he missed her very much. Ji-hyun immediately stopped and saw Suho's panicked expression. Hearing his unexpected confession, Ji-hyun felt unimaginable. Finally, she still turned around and left. After returning home, Ji-hyun suddenly discovered 2 memory cards on the bed. She opened it and inside was Suho's confession when being interviewed by a reporter. At this time, she knew that the person in the room where her sister was murdered, which she had always been looking for, was Suho. The poor girl has now fallen into madness. Just now she heard the truth about her younger sister's death through her ex-lover Min-seok. Min-seok told Ji-hyun the whole truth. Suho didn't want to get married, so he brought her younger sister home to intentionally anger Chaeya. Then there was the story that Chaeya beat her younger sister and even intentionally threw money into the swimming pool, causing her younger sister to die. Hearing Min-seok say that because wanted to repay her mother's debt, it was possible that her younger sister got involved in drugs. Ji-hyun's tears fell. She angrily scolded Min-seok for previously listening to evil and hiding the truth. Min-seok told Ji-hyun that even if he doesn't do it, someone else will. This society is a society of the rich. The poor have absolutely no right to demand justice. The truth is created by the powerful. The poor have no power. No matter how much injustice they suffer, no one cares. He hopes that after Ji-hyun knows the truth, she will stop resisting in vain. What Min-seok said completely shattered Ji-hyun's remaining hope. She herself also knew everything was true, as Min-seok said. Even if she protested, nothing would change. Even though she cried, no one came to comfort her. On the other side, Suho went to choose a wedding dress with Chaeya, but was extremely worried, because since the night he confessed his love to Ji-hyun, he has never seen her. When Chaeya finished changing into her wedding dress and stepped out, she discovered that Suho was nowhere to be seen. It turned out that Ji-hyun's best friend called Suho to tell him that Ji-hyun left a note and left home. Suho looked everywhere Ji-hyun could go, and finally found her in a bar. At this time, Ji-hyun changed into different clothes than before. She wears seductive, sexy clothes. She was so drunk that she couldn't walk. There is a saying that extreme pressure can knock a person down. Ji-hyun has changed. She said the feeling of spending money like water is really great. It's just a pity that the money she worked so hard for over the years was spent in just 4 short days. Of course money is important, but it's not everything. There are also things that are much more important than it. Even if it's more important, you can use money to buy it. Even people's hearts can be bought with money. She also said that someone like Suho with a lot of money probably wouldn't understand, because he would never be in a situation where he runs out of money. Now she has begun to dream of a life with money. She told Suho was born rich, so he should take her to experience life with money. Suho had guilt in his heart, so of course he couldn't refuse. First, she asked Suho for a very large house. To Suho, that money is nothing. Then she went to the restaurant where she used to work to eat premium steak and drink expensive red wine. She didn't forget to ask Suho to raise the restaurant staff's salary, which made Chaeya feel extremely unhappy. She questioned Suho in the office. She asked him if besides atonement, he also had other feelings for Ji-hyun. Suho denied it, but Chaeya felt that Suho cared more about Ji-hyun than her. After that, Ji-hyun went to the high-end store to throw away the watch she liked the most as a gift from her younger sister. She chose a watch worth a whole house. Of course it's still Suho who pays, but as soon as she turned around she considered the watch as trash. She gave it to the old woman collecting trash on the side of the road. Suho couldn't stand it anymore. He asked her how long she had to do this until it was over, but Ji-hyun coldly replied that until she died. One morning, Suho was woken up by the alarm clock next door. Seeing it ringing non-stop, calling but no one responded. Realizing something unusual, Suho skillfully unlocked Ji-hyun's door and quickly carried the unconscious Ji-hyun to the hospital. He completely did not pay attention to Chaeya standing outside the door. Got to the hospital. Suho's body was tired and exhausted after taking care of Ji-hyun all day. But after waking up, Ji-hyun was not grateful. She even said she would pull out the IV to threaten Suho to leave her hospital room. Chaeya also went to the hospital. Ji-hyun arrogantly said that Chaeya was pitiful. Ji-hyun also proudly told Chaeya that the real reason Suho wanted to marry you soon was because of me. Only then did Chaeya realize that Suho proposed to her to help Ji-hyun. She was completely devastated and stood there, not knowing what to do now. No woman can stand that humiliation. The next day, Chaeya told President Jeon that she wanted to cancel the engagement. Suho knew it was all because of Ji-hyun's harassment, but he didn't know that this was just the beginning of her revenge. Didn't you say you would do everything for me? Suho said that it was just something he he could do. Ji-hyun said, "You should marry me." The tycoon's rebellious son was forced into marriage by an ordinary employee. Moreover, he couldn't find any reason to refuse. Then at Ji-hyun's request, the two of them lay on the same bed. Ji-hyun made him laugh, even though he didn't want to laugh. That photo was posted by Ji-hyun on her personal page. This made the public extremely surprised. Everyone thought it was because of this woman that Suho was canceled the engagement. Chairman Chan knew about this, so he immediately ordered Min Suk to investigate the true reason why Suho and Chea broke off their engagement. As for Ji-hyun, she is now starting her revenge plan. First, she enticed Suho's brother and stepmother. Both mother and son happily agreed because in their eyes, as long as Suho lost Chea's support, he would absolutely not be a competitor for them for inheritance. Not long after, Ji-hyun and Suho held a private wedding ceremony, which made Suho's father extremely dissatisfied. But even if he protested, nothing could be changed. After the wedding ended, Ji-hyun and Suho returned to the place they called home. Even though they are together, their hearts cannot get close to each other. Suho knows he doesn't have much time left, so he just wants to live peaceful days. But Ji-hyun did not have that intention. Just after getting married, she asked to sleep in 2 separate rooms. Suho is not allowed in her room. Every day Suho still prepares dinner, very meticulously, but Ji-hyun doesn't even glance at him once. Suho clearly knew Ji-hyun's purpose for marrying him. Seeing Ji-hyun enter the room, he had to embrace his own loneliness. Not long after, with the help of Suho's stepmother and brother, Ji-hyun sat in the chair of General Director of Chan Group's charity fund. From then on, she took advantage of her position as general manager to do good deeds everywhere. She shaped her image into an angel, because she knows clearly that only when she has enough influence will others believe her words, even if what she says is just a lie. Under the coordination of Suho to donate a large amount of money, the media competed to report on Ji-hyun's charity work story. After hearing this news, the president called Min Suk to his house and scolded. Although he favored this son, he valued the company's interests more. He must stop this daughter-in-law he doesn't like. So he called Min Suk to his place and then hinted that you should deal with Ji-hyun. The president also said a meaningful sentence that if Min Suk refused to act, someone would do it for him. After thinking, Min Suk pretended to agree with Chairman Chan's orders, but someone like him who has done countless bad things cannot take action against Ji-hyun. Instead, he took out a large sum of money and asked Ji-hyun to leave this place. He also told her that if she didn't leave, she would be in danger. Of course, Ji-hyun will not listen to Min Suk. By this time, she was no longer afraid of anything. She publicly disclosed all the black documents of the Cheon Group that she had investigated during the past time. This action made Chairman Cheon extremely angry. He called and fired Min Suk for not working according to his requirements, then give Director Nam the task of handling Ji-hyun. Today, Suho was discussing work with Chea in the office when suddenly his illness relapsed. He had a severe headache and collapsed to the floor. Chea also noticed Suho's strangeness, but Suho didn't tell her about his illness. Chea pretended to be Suho's fiancé to go ask the doctor. At this time, she learned that Suho was terminally ill and he did not have much time left. Moreover, this illness caused Suho's eyesight to be reduced by half. If the illness continues, he will be completely blind. Chea remembers what Suho once told her. Her tears. It turns out that when the two of them were still in love, Suho once said that if he was still alive a year later, he would hold a wedding with Chea. At this moment, all her resentment towards Suho suddenly disappeared. She only thinks about how to save the man she once loved. After many conversations and advice with Suho, Suho finally agreed to go abroad for treatment. Even if there is only 1% hope, he will still do his best to help Ji-hyun. But before leaving, he wanted to take the restaurant staff out together because he didn't want to leave any regrets. With everyone's help, he finally invited Ji-hyun to go with everyone. Suho prepares a small gift for each employee. Then he personally put on the necklace he had prepared a long time ago for Ji-hyun. Finally, a smile appeared on his face. Before leaving, Ji-hyun asked Suho if there was anything he wanted to say to her. She asked if he was unwell, but Suho said he would tell her after returning home. Ji-hyun also rarely confides in Suho. She expresses her gratitude for helping her investigate the case of her younger mother and sister. This is the first time the two of them sat together since getting married, but Ji-hyun still didn't say she forgives him. Afterwards, Ji-hyun walked alone in the woods when suddenly a man in black used a towel to cover her mouth. A moment later, Suho ran to find Ji-hyun and only saw her phone drop there. Then he saw a shoe on the beach. He looked forward and saw the unconscious Ji-hyun floating on the ocean surface, now gradually sinking. Suho ran there as fast as he could and tried to swim towards Ji-hyun. When he was about to come to her, suddenly his illness recurred. Seeing Ji-hyun right in front of his eyes, he couldn't continue moving forward and struggled in the sea for a long time. After that, his body gradually sank. The guilt and love arising from Suho's shame for Ji-hyun forever sank into the bottomless ocean. He also fulfilled the wish he once wished for when he was alive. Ji-hyun was brought brought to shore by lifeguards. After waking up, she saw Suho being treated nearby. Ji-hyun couldn't believe her eyes. When she got closer, she saw that Suho had stopped breathing. Finally, her tears fell, but it was too late. Suho has left them forever. Receiving the bad news, President Chun hurriedly returned. He did not dare to believe that the son he loved the most was no longer in this world. He asked what happened, but Ji-hyun said it was all his fault. She knew that Chairman Chun had ordered someone to assassinate her. Faced with Ji-hyun's questioning, Chairman Chun still refused to admit that it was because he wanted to kill Ji-hyun that it led to Su's death. On the contrary, he even blamed Ji-hyun. While the two were arguing fiercely, Cha-ya was next to them and told them that Suho was terminally ill. Hearing Cha-ya's words, everyone fell silent. Now things have become like that. During the time of sadness, they didn't find out whose fault it was anymore. Suho writes a will to everyone, including his father. Although the content is not long, it clearly writes the feelings from the bottom of his heart that he wants to reveal to everyone. After the funeral ended, Ji-hyun went to the police station and told the police to investigate the truth of Suho's death. The police irresponsibly replied that perhaps because Suho had an incurable disease, so he temporarily thought about bad thing and gave up his life. Seeing that the police were still as indifferent as they were when investigating Ji-hyun's case, Ji-hyun got angry and said that this time she would definitely investigate to the end. Furthermore, she will notify reporters to monitor the results of the police station's investigation together. On the other side, his son's death still cannot make Chairman Chun wake up. He orders Director Nam to kidnap Min-seo. After waking up, Min-seo discovered that his kidnapper was Director Nam, so he surmised that the person who wanted to assassinate Ji-hyun was definitely Director Nam. Director Nam used a knife to take some of Min-seok's blood to falsely accuse him of attempting to murder Ji-hyun. Director Nam also forced Min-seok to write a letter confessing his guilt, but Min-seok did not give up easily. Taking advantage of the time the guard was not on guard, he attacked them and fled. In an emergency, he had to ask Ji-hyun to save him. He knelt down and cried, begging for Ji-hyun's forgiveness, and even said that he would help her reveal the entire truth of the incident. Because of Suho's death, Cha also went to find Ji-hyun. They are willing to join forces to overthrow Chairman Cheon, but they have no evidence, so Cha went to find Chairman Cheon. She told him that Min-seok held all the secret criminal evidence of the Cheon group. Realizing that the situation was not okay, Chairman Cheon immediately ordered Director Nam to quickly move all key evidence out. Then Ji-hyun and Min-seok blocked the road and stole all the evidence. Not long after, President Chun led his subordinates to the house where they were hiding. When Director Nam was about to rush in to steal the evidence, Min-seok suddenly pulled out a gun. The scene suddenly went out of control. At this moment, Chairman Chun offered a large amount of money to bribe Min-seok. As long as Min-seok kills Ji-hyun, he will transfer 10 billion won to Min-seok right now. Furthermore, Chairman Chun also vowed not to cause trouble with Min-seok again. Chairman Chun then ordered his subordinates to transfer money immediately. Min-seok's phone quickly received a text message adding money. At this time, Chairman Chun said to kill Ji-hyun. Unexpectedly, Min-seok actually pointed the gun at Ji-hyun. Furthermore, he pulled the trigger without hesitation. Ji-hyun felt like he was falling into a bottomless ocean, just like Suho did at that time. But she smiled because soon she would see her mother, younger sister, and husband again. Although he witnessed Min-seok open fire and shoot Ji-hyun, Chairman Chun still did not feel secure. It wasn't until Director Nam brought back the news that Ji-hyun's body had not been found that Chairman Chun immediately felt something was strange. Actually, this is part of the three people's plan. Ji-hyun only suffered superficial injuries, no serious problems. Cha promptly saved her at a critical moment. It turns out that from the beginning they installed surveillance cameras in the house, the purpose of which was to record evidence of Chairman Chun bribing the murderer. After getting better, Ji-hyun immediately thought of a way to fight back. First, she found an internet shop and uploaded the video of Chairman Chun bribing Min-seok to kill her to the social media. Then she went to a crowded square and started live streaming. Thanks to her previous public charity work, she has accumulated many fans. Her live stream room attracted a large number of passers-by and reporters to watch. She wants to expose the truth about the death of her mother and younger sister. Receiving this news, President Cheon and Cha also arrived at the scene. In front of the public and the camera lens, Ji-hyun recounted the misfortune that her younger sister and mother had encountered. To find out the truth, she tried a lot, but the results were extremely disastrous. Furthermore, her husband's death was also sketchy, concluded by the police. Standing in front of power, no matter how much she begged or how much she screamed, no one would listen to her words. This is the tycoon class's contempt for human life. She pointed the knife at Chairman Cheon. Cha, who was next to also testified. At the same time, she frankly admitted her role in a series of events that happened. Furthermore, she also frankly said that in the past, past, she could not sympathize with Ji-hyun's helplessness and despair after losing a loved one, but it wasn't until Soo-ho tragically passed away that she felt it. As soon as finished speaking, Chae-ah without hesitation knelt down in front of Ji-hyun and apologized to her. Ji-hyun turned to look at Chairman Cheon, but Chairman Cheon still refused to admit his mistake. He turned around and left amidst public criticism. However, under the strong protests of the righteous people, Chairman Cheon was soon arrested by the police. Ji-hyun thought that this time, with video evidence, it would be easy to convict Chairman Cheon, but unexpectedly Director Nam used the excuse that Ji-hyun and Min-seok were once lovers, so he asked Ji-hyun to prove the authenticity of the video. Director Nam said their purpose was to defraud 10 billion won. Moreover, Min-seok took the money and ran away, but at this moment, Min-seok appeared in court holding a check for 10 billion won. He proactively went to court to testify and told the truth of the incident that he knew in court. Chae-ah was also present in court. She actively admitted the truth that she had beaten Ji-hyun's younger sister, but when the judge mentioned that she had set fire to the detention center to kill Kang In-bel, she replied that it was just a trap. Kang In-bel was not dead. Then the police arrested Kang In-bel, who was still alive. Faced with countless authentic evidence, President Cheon could no longer resist. Through the court's verdict, Chairman Cheon, Director Nam, Min-seok and Kang In-bel all received deserved punishment. As for Chae-ah, because she could not prove that she was the person who directly led to Ji-hyun's younger sister's death, so she was acquitted. At this point, everything ended. Ji-hyun finally opened the letter that Soo-ho wrote to her when he was still alive. Scenes from the two people's past gradually appeared before her eyes, causing Ji-hyun to shed tears. Perhaps it wasn't until this moment that Ji-hyun truly considered Soo-ho her husband. Thank you everyone for watching. See you in the next video.